Hi everyone, I'm just in the cellar, about to sow my beans. Now these are the ones that I've decided to grow this year. So if you refer to some of my last year videos, you'll notice these. So these were the purple aina uri. I call them aina uri. I don't think they are, but it's a Bangladeshi uri, a bean rather. Uri is the Bengali word for bean, by the way. So so it's a purple bean. It's really beautiful and it tastes amazing. So that one, and that's that seed. So then we have the USA long bean. They're not actually very long, but they are from the States. Then I've got some dwarf beans, which I don't know where the plant came from, but it was the only one that grew in my garden, and the beans came so early. So I've decided I'm going to grow some of these early before I get my chili plants into the ground. So this is basically maximizing the space that I have. Then I've got the curly beans. So this is another hyacinth type of bean, or ainauri, another Bangladeshi bean, like that one. You can see the seeds are also dark. Now, that one grows in abundance as well. So I've planted, I've wet some of those. Then I've got the climbing speckled French beans. Here we go. And another long, so the long curly bean, slightly curly and it's long, also from the States. One of my relatives gave it to us. So what I did yesterday, I put all the seeds into these cups to moisten them, and this speeds up germination. And that's what you do if you're in a bit of a rush. And I want to get them ready. You know, I think I'm gonna have my greenhouse sorted, and hopefully tomorrow. I've got a little bit busy today, so I'll hopefully have the greenhouse ready tomorrow, and then I can get these out into the greenhouse and then plant more seeds. So these are the same trays that I used last time for the chilies, and the plugs are quite small. So what that means is that when these plants reach about a height of say six inches, they'll be, they really should come out of these because these plugs are quite small. I'm starting these at home, and because I don't have a lot of space at home, that's why I've decided to use these smaller plugs. If my greenhouse is sorted out, I will grow more beans in larger plugs. Maybe in the greenhouse if I need to, or I can just stick with these smaller ones. Now, obviously, with the smaller ones, you got to get them into the ground as soon as possible. I think once I sow these, it will take hopefully 3 weeks maybe to grow to about 6 inches, and hopefully by 3 weeks the temperature outside will be warmer at night, and then that'd be great. So I'm trying these 6 beans type this year, and there is one more actually I'd like to try. This is what the seeds look like when they're fully dry, and I actually take my seeds out of these, so I know what they are. I know what sort of beans they are, and I just put them out the other day. So took them out of the shells. Now, so all I'm going to do, in fact, this is the bit when I'm going to have to hang the camera up. But yeah, so basically pop them in, and here's a rule of thumb. So whatever seed that you sow, whether it's bean or cucumber, the depth of the seed should be about twice the height of the seed itself. So with a bean, something like this, which is about a centimetre in height, I'd put it into the ground, into the soil 2 centimetres deep. Okay, that's a general rule for any type of seed that you grow. Obviously, there are exceptions. I'm going to put the seeds either in multiples of 4s or multiples of 5. And once I do that, I'll label it with these small labels, and I put these little labels on the side of the trays, and then I can identify my beans easily. Because once the beans are older, little bit bigger, it's just so hard to tell. I mean, you can tell between a few, but you have to have them labeled, to be honest. So I'm going to get on with that, and I'll show you the complete product shortly. So now that I've put all the seeds into the sockets, and it's really important that you only put 1 seed per socket, because these sockets aren't really too big. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can see that. They're not massive. So you put 1 per pocket. And the great thing about these is as they grow, the roots do not cross over and get tangled. So that's good for root, or, not disturbing the roots and damaging roots along the way. So what I'm going to, as you can see, the soil that I've been putting in is quite dry because I put this here yesterday. I don't know if that was a good idea, but there's only one way to find out. Right, I think this is ready. So now, for some water. I'm using filtered water. It's the most convenient thing, to be honest, for me, because there's already water in the jug.
Yeah.
And surely filtered water's got to be better than the hard water we have. Right, so a little bit of water, not too much, and I'm going to expect that water to come out through the bottom. I have to move these seeds. Not too much, because the seeds are moist, aren't they? So don't need to put too much water in there. What I'll do, I'm going to check again tomorrow, and just to make sure that the soil is damp. So all you need to do is make sure that the soil is damp and not soggy, because then that might even kill your beans and kill your baby plants. So now I'm going to put the labels on. Ignore my writing, it's in code language. You'll have to decipher it. So what I'm going to, I'll put a label on each end. So that's it. Now what I'll do with this tray, I'm going to leave it somewhere, it doesn't really matter. Somewhere warm would be ideal. I'm going to leave it, not going to leave it here actually. I'm going to take it upstairs to this. See, I'm running out of space, and that's the problem. If you don't have enough window sills, and if you have young children, and that's how it is, honestly. If I've got young children, then there's certain window sills that I cannot leave. I'd love to leave my plants, but I can't. And some of you probably have to deal with this issue as well. So ideally, get yourself a greenhouse, and even those little plastic ones. I'll do a video on those actually, if you want, on the greenhouses, and they're not bad at all, to be honest. I've used cold frames before myself. So this is how I grow my beans. Remember, the first step is to moisten the beans by putting it in a cup of water, and then a day later or half a day later, pop them into the soil, and then give it a bit more water and put it in a fairly warm place, ideally. I'm going to keep it indoors for now. Hopefully once the greenhouse is fixed, and once the beans indoors, I've just given a few more, a couple of leaves, I'm going to take them outside to get used to the outside temperature. Hopefully tomorrow I'll fix that greenhouse. It's depressing me. Hopefully get that done, and I can do more growing outside. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.